Hello and welcome to another episode of Heritage Stacking. Lots been going on since my last video when I went down to Saul's to go and buy some precious metals. Silver and gold have been taking a beating. There's been a massive sell-off in commodities, and everybody on the internet's screaming that the stock market's crashing. Well, precious metals are going down, in my opinion, because, well, the American dollar is strengthening, and when that happens, it drives down the price of precious metals in American dollars. Here in Canada, it has a similar effect, and in most countries that are aligned with the United States, because we back our currencies with American holdings, i.e. in Canada, our dollar now is no longer backed by any precious metals and is mostly backed by American dollars. So when the basket of currencies is compared, we wind up going up. But one of the currencies that's compared to basically the US dollar in the basket of currencies is the yuan and the yen, and they haven't been doing so well against the American dollar, and I think this might actually be the plan. And what would be the plan? Well, Saudi Arabia decided that they weren't going to play ball and solely sell in American dollars. So what has America been doing? Raising interest rates. The writing's been kind of on the wall. This is like, I think, the one fiat to rule them all right now kind of deal, but the problem is that the one fiat's trying to destroy all of the other fiats in the room, and eventually this will bring it to the point where no one is going to want fiat dollars because it'll be too hard and too expensive to purchase them. So right now it's bringing down the price of oil in American dollar terms. It's looking like the American dollar is doing great, but this is not doing great for the economy. It's going to slow the economy right down. When borrowing gets hard and things get tight and the American dollar gets strong, it drives down out of country purchases of American goods, like Ford cars, Ford trucks, Chevy, Chrysler. I know it's all made around the world, but when they're marketed in American dollars, it makes it harder to purchase, and this is really going to hurt American industries. Not only that, American food becomes more expensive. Here in Canada, most of our winter foods come up from the US, from places like Texas, Florida, and California. And when you get a stronger dollar versus our dollar, it makes it more difficult for us to purchase it, and it makes it more cost effective to ship in from out of country. Now, I know a lot of this because I am an AZ professional truck driver, and I have over 20 years experience and probably pretty close to 3 million miles driven. I've been in every state in the United States. I've been to every province and territory in Canada. The only place in North America that's in the US that I haven't been to on our continent is Alaska, and it's definitely on my bucket list of things to do. But aside from that, I've been all over, and I've seen how things work, and I know that by shipping, Canada, we use our own trucks to go down to the States to bring the goods down. We also use our own trucks to come up. Why is that? Because Canadian labor clearly is cheaper than American labor for the most part for, I would call it unskilled labor, but that's really not fair to myself because it's actually very skilled labor. It takes a long time to build up basically the skills needed to do certain jobs. I did a stint with Air Canada and delivered Tesla satellites and helped do that kind of thing. I've driven in the Arctic. I've delivered fuel. I've loaded airplanes. I've helped uninstall jet engines. I've moved Black Hawk helicopters. So I have a fair bit of experience in it. And the reason why Canadian labor is utilized is because, well, we're highly educated. Canada is a very highly educated country. We have an excellent working and service industry that the U.S. relies heavily upon. We are the U.S.'s largest trading partner, bar none. And the reasons for that is our cheap labor. And what does the U.S. get in return for this relationship? Alberta crude oil at a reduced rate, Alberta, tar sands oil at a reduced rate. And this is highly important that the U.S. continues to get this cheaper priced commodity. It helps down there, but not only do they get that, they get all of the mined resources at a cheaper price because of shipping. Here where I live in the Pontiac in Quebec, we have several mining industries that are coming in for lithium and precious metals. And the reason why this is happening is we're literally a 5-hour drive to factories down in southern Ontario, Michigan, and in New York, upper New York State. And it's very cost effective to just truck our stuff down to a railhead and then bring it across the border from where we're at. Like a 4-hour drive is nothing when you take into consideration having to ship all the way up from either down south in Mexico, basically raw materials across that vast distance, or to bring in from overseas. The commodity markets here between the U.S. and Canada are a very strong trade. So when the U.S. dollar is strong and the Canadian dollar is strong, this is a good thing for Canada, but it's not such a great thing for the US. And by strong with the Canadian dollar, I'm referring to trading. Like a very strong Canadian dollar where we're trading at like near parity. Jobs fly out of Canada because nobody wants to pay the overpriced wages. But right now, our wage is suppressed, but basically our purchasing power currently on inflation terms is improving. We still have inflation, massive inflation, but the strengthening of the dollar is strengthening relative with the American dollar. So it's lowering importation fees. I'm not saying that we'll see this, in the store, but for business points of view, it's a good thing. Now, what's going on with the sell-off with the silver, and what are my current plans? Well, you all know I like the dollar cost averaging, and you all know that I like to wait for a bargain. And I did wait for a bargain, and I went in and I bought from Sol. I bought some constitutional American 90% dimes, and I got a really screaming deal on them. In my opinion, paying about $34 Canadian, 24.25 American for dimes, 24 and a half face American, was a pretty good deal on dimes, and they're great for a barter. And if you can get your hands on constitutional, it is my number 2 favorite thing to buy is constitutional silver, and I do purchase it quite regularly, and I really enjoy how it looks. It's got that literal look of age to it, and history, and I find it amazing. I just absolutely love it. But one thing that's better for me, because I'm a Canadian, is my constitutional or heritage silver, which is what I'm thinking I'm going to call it from now on, as heritage stacking. I think it's appropriate that I also have large amounts of Canadian heritage silver. And like I said, it's important. Why is it important? Well, you need to be able to barter in a situation like what's coming. I watched a video earlier about Yankee taking, I think it was like 4 or 5 American dimes and buying a Sunday down in the US. And I thought that was pretty neat that he went out and did that. I probably wouldn't do that for a video, because up here, 5 American dimes are worth about $3.50-$4 a dime, and 5 dimes is $20, and I'd never pay $20 for a Sunday. That's just craziness. But I do really like my heritage silver. Now, you might notice that the setup's a little bit odd. My kids are having a hard time sleeping tonight, so I decided to go out, and I'm on the back of the tailgate of the truck. And you might be wondering, what was I doing in Ottawa? Like, clearly I didn't just go to Ottawa to go and pick up, 38 ounces of silver. That would just be a gigantic waste of fuel to go do that. No, I decided I'm going to start up a third income stream. And in my town, a gentleman passed away, and he ran a snow plowing business. And when he did that, 6 or 7 snowplow trucks this year went off the road. They've been sold. No one's come in to replace them. So I decided to go and purchase plowing equipment. And I'm starting to advertise for plowing because, well, I've got spare time in the evening, and I can make fiat money when I don't have regular working hours. And that's another thing that's very important. And I truly believe that you should always be prepared with fiat. And why should you always have some fiat? Well, at times like this, it's always important to make sure that you're prepped. You should have a little bit of dry powder. Now, I went out and I spent on some silver, and it was a fairly substantial chunk of change. Like I wait for dips, and right now there's another big dip, but I don't feel like this is the time for me to crack off more. Like I already cracked off 2,000 some odd Canadian dollars into precious metals over the last 30-ish days, and for me that's pretty much all I feel like doing. I need to keep some held back for other deals that might come up. Like there could be something else of great worth to myself. Like I said, I'm starting a plowing company. Maybe it'd be nice to have a salter and sander, or maybe it would be nice to purchase a trailer to be able to dolly on and off my ATV and plow. You never know when you might need more fiat just lying around. And I strongly suggest that you prep, you save up, you get your ducks all in a row, and you make sure that you have the ability to jump on deals, because deals don't come every day. The other thing is Heritage Snacker. Why would you have this much fiat just out and about, in your home? And you never know. We could have a grid down event here where you can't gain access to your money. It happened here several times where I've been 3 or 4 days in this little town where I don't have internet access, and I can't buy gas, I can't buy groceries, I can't buy anything. And this has happened to me a lot since the cough. Like we've had it where I couldn't purchase, I think 6 times in total since the cough, the longest one being 3 days where I didn't have the ability. And in those 3 days, if I didn't have fiat lying around, I would have had to rely either on my silver or the good graces and taking credit out maybe at one of my friends' gas stations or something and asking if they could carry me. And that's just not something I want to do. But dry powder is very important because it doesn't leave you stuck. Let's say that it's a real bad situation, like a hurricane or something, and it's power out for you, or a large earthquake, and you actually need capital to be able to do something. I wouldn't want to be stuck in a bind where I don't have the ability to pull something out and go, I don't feel like starving today, or I don't feel like having gasoline today or something. And this is the most recognizable thing in my country is fiat right now. This is in case the fiat stops working. You know what I mean? This is what this is for. Like the constitutional and the heritage silver is for when the fiat ceases to work. But as long as fiat works, I have to keep one foot in the door. And from what I've been understanding, they're getting ready to slam that door shut. So I strongly suggest that you start holding some, like maybe a month worth of your income, or maybe 2 weeks or a week. I also suggest, and I don't have anything here, maybe I'd pull out a can of beans. I really suggest that you buy beans, Band-Aids, and the other B word. I would suggest it on here, but I don't feel like getting YouTube to, slap me in the hand for talking about it. But all of you know what I'm talking about, and it's super important. And, it's spelt off of the word bull. So, beans, bullion, Band-Aids, and bull. You make sure you have your 4 Bs. Also water, clearly, that's important to have access to drinking water. Myself, where I live, I have access to 3 different natural springs. I have a river that literally flows within 400 feet of my home. I have a whole bucket system and filtration system ready to go should the need arise. And it's important to know where you're going to get your drinking water from. And the reason why I'm really happy about having springs is if there's like ever a chemical problem or anything like that, the water in the ground is less likely to be contaminated, right? So I have that extra reliance. The only problem is it's a mile and a half away, and if I don't have fuel or transportation, all I'm going to have to rely on is either foot power in the wagon that I have, because I do have a wagon, and it's capable of carrying 4 or 5 gallon buckets of water if I want. My other option is a bicycle and a tag-along trailer, which I would have to get one of my kids to ride, because I can't ride bike very well anymore with my blowing knee. But if need arised, I'd try. But yeah, so right now silver's in a dip, and what should you be doing, or what should I be doing? Because this isn't financial advice. This is just my thoughts on life. I'm just a dude in the dark, talking out of the back of his pickup truck, living a dream. And all of you at home are spending time listening to me talk. Well, I have already talked to Saul, and I got some bad news. He's completely sold out of all silver. He has no silver products left. When I went there earlier in the week, he probably had it on the neighborhood of over 1,000 ounces of silver available. He had gold and everything, but that's all gone. He sold it all. He did tell me that he has some sovereigns left, and he has some, I think he said he had some 2 or 2.5 gram gold, but that was it. Everything else has just been blitzed out. He's already put in an order. He's waiting. He's hoping this dip stays where it's at, or close to where it's at, because he's expecting his shipment to come in and to be picked up at the mint there. And luckily he lives in Ottawa, so it's not too far of a drive. And he's hoping to pick that up and continue on the sale that he's been having, which if you looked at my previous post there are companies that I've been looking at that are selling at $5 to $7 an ounce over spot, and currently Sol is selling at $2.50 to $3 over spot. So he's literally crushing the competition completely. Like his prices are really good. So I'm probably going to jump on some of that this weekend. And I suggest that, if you feel it's right for you, that maybe you do too. You don't have to take my word for anything, go do your own due diligence, shop around, get the best price you can. And anytime that you can get close to spot, I really suggest it. There is always, if you're an American, there's always bullion dealers down there that always offer your first ounce at spot. I heard there's this American Eagle deal where you can get 5 eagles through SD bullion at spot if you buy something. That might be a deal for you. But me, if I could get my first ounce at spot, what would I be buying? I would probably pick up, because I can't shop at SD bullion, but I would immediately pick up probably a gold eagle. I'd probably get a gold eagle. Why would I get a gold eagle? Well, the premiums are insane, and I'm already making a profit off it because I'm getting it at spot. And then they told you that you have to buy X amount in order to get it, so that you get it at spot. Well, you spent that buying the coin, so you kind of win. And if you didn't have that kind of money, I would probably go for a half ounce or a quarter ounce. Why not? Whatever you think you can afford. And once again, this is just me talking. It's not financial advice. I can't give that. But I do hope that you enjoy what I do, and I hope that you find this content valuable, and that you would consider subscribing if you're not, and clicking that like button, and sharing, and hitting that bell notification button. And until next time, keep your thumb to the sky, keep on stacking. And this is Heritage Stacker. Have a great night and stay awesome.